There are transfer bombers going off everywhere. Are we going to see some more at the Toon after Anthony Elanga? Let's find out right here on Toon Tactics TV, folks.
Brilliant from Sham. And now Murphy can take on the shot. Fabian Sham
All right. Evening all. I was fiddling around with a whole load of PDFs and files because I'm trying to make the PowerPoints a little bit more clearer. The words are sometimes a little bit too small, so I was trying to get that right, but it wasn't quite working out. Hence the delay, guys. So apologies for that. I'm going to practice some more on it, but I know soon I'm going to be able to get these images and these kind of files a lot more neat, a lot more nice, and then you guys can see these things clearly, and we'll be running a professional organization outfit here for all you guys and listeners. But enough of that. How are you guys all doing? Where are you all coming from already? We've got folks in the chat. We've got Sarah Robson. God bless you, sir. And evening, Philip, and the chat. Evening to you. Evening to you. Evening to you. How are you guys all feeling? I know that folks are waiting with anticipation for the media release for Elanga. I just saw Kudus's one for Tottenham. That was pretty good. So I think they're making these announcements now, football announcements, like new like transfer announcements and everything else, and media productions. They're giving it the full like videos. They're looking exceptionally well. So hopefully we'll see one from Newcastle as well. That's looking good. That's looking well. And so yeah, we'll see. Big Watson. Good to see. God bless you. Picture leaked of Elanga before announcement. We're slow. We are. I'm going to show you actually. That's the pic I'm going to show, because on tonight's show we are going to be talking about obviously the completion of Elanga's deal. Well, it's sorted, but we just want to get the media stuff done out of the way. I see people nervous, obviously, and we'll talk about a little bit. Obviously, Tottenham going on a rampage, a financial, transfer rampage tonight, getting Mr. Gibson White, who will be linked to Kudus, or who will also be linked to, and even right at the end, they'll be linked to Wharton. So, with all of that being said, people obviously worried that Forest have lost Gibbs White and Elanga in the space of 48 hours. But then, people are worried that we're going to get Elanga. Are Forest going to change their minds and everything else? It's like it's crazy. It's too much. But we're going to be talking about all the transfers, all the other news and rumors. But as I promised, I'm also going to be talking about our next sporting director candidates, and there's two that we're going to be talking about tonight. It's the Mr. Aito, Ayoto, and I think it's Ross Wilson. I'm going to use a little bit of an article from The Athletic, giving a bit of a background in terms of what Newcastle are looking for, but also we're going to get into the specifics of the two potential candidates, sporting directors themselves. The CEO one is a little bit. We're going to go into that maybe next week as well. There's a few candidates onto that as well, but it's a little bit less. It's a little bit less clearer for me, so I didn't want to push on that one. But we'll talk about those as well. Like there's our structure, our kind of higher up structure is all kind of everywhere at the moment. It's not everywhere. That's not the fair way to say. It's forming. It's. I think that the feeling I get from reading about all that stuff is that Piff and the Reuben brothers are kind of still. They are. I'm sure they know what they want. It's whether they'll be able to put it together, or it's going to work the way they hope that it will work. So I'm going to be talking about that. I'm going to be talking about some Newcastle news and a little bit looking at our opponents, like I said as well. So, like I said, folks, like, share, and subscribe. Also, you've been also in the comment sections as well. The likes of Bobby Fairview, and I think it was a gentleman called Jamie. I forgot his name. I think his that came when I was looking at my comments as well. So you guys have been. Let me see if I can find his name so I can big him up. It was. Is it in this one? So Bobby Fairview, Luca talks Don's. Good to see. Giving up the comments. There's a one with a really long username, Gerg something. Really good use. Giving up the comments. El Capo giving up the comments. But there was another gentleman. I'm sure his name was Jamie. Sharing comments on this video as well. But like I said, encourage you guys to do all of that because it pushes the channel out there. So we're gonna touch on all of that. Let me see what folks are saying in the chat. Already, Big Watson taking us 3 to 4 days. It took Spurs 1 day to do kudos and the nuts. It happened really, really quick, isn't it? I mean, Ornstein came up with the Bomba saying Spurs are looking at him. And I don't know, probably like 5 minutes later, Fabrizio was like, "Oh yeah, it's done. They've triggered it." For Mr. Gibbs White. So look, it's July, guys. The deals are going off. They're going off everywhere. They are going off. Watson need to look into this new set. Yeah, look into this new set piece, coach. I did promise I'll do that as well. I will do that. Is it Mark something? I need to look into him. Joel Bailey, not a good look for the club. Why not, Joel? Like, expand on that. Let me know. Let me know. All right. So speaking of news and the Elanga, and the leaked footage and all that stuff. So, okay, so we've got this, and this is this my bookmarks? It is my bookmarks, and I got it first through via Sean Casey. Big up to Sean Casey as well. This is the leaked footage of Elanga. I think it is. I'm hoping it's not AI because it doesn't look real. Guys, can you tell me if it's real? I think it's been confirmed by other sources. It must. I don't know. It doesn't look real from here. It looks like his. Is it real, guys? I don't know, man. This don't look real to me now that I'm looking at it now. I didn't really look at it before. I don't know. Is it me? It might be me, folks. I'm not sure this is. I don't know if this is real. Must be. It must be. It looks real. I don't know. I don't know. I hope it is, but there was another footage I saw earlier that looked way more real. That's him meeting with the players. I don't know if you guys saw that one. Let me scroll down. Here we go. This one. Right. So let's see. All right. So this is a lot more in depth. I bet the one I'm looking at is. I don't know, man. Guys, I'm doubting myself here. I don't know, man. Is that him? Is that him? I don't trust. AI is so powerful that honestly, yeah, but Watson, it does look, it looks like it looks painted, isn't it? El Capo Photoshop, isn't it? It don't look real, honestly. Let me go back to that image. It don't look real. I don't think it's real. I'm not even sure if this is real. Like, because he wasn't wearing this. Like, I think this is all AI. Honestly, you know what? I'm calling it now. I think it's AI, or AI at best. Photoshop at worst. This is painted. This one's painted on. This is painted on. I think this is painted on. Honestly, people can clip me up and say this. Have a laugh about it, but I don't know. Guys, I'm not with. I don't think this is real. I think he's here. Obviously, we've seen the flights, we've seen everything else, but I think people are so as we like desperate. They want to see it, and especially like I mentioned with all the big news for Tottenham fans, obviously with their players coming in, understandably so. People want to see us get our player over the line, and so I just don't think it's him. I just don't think these are the leaked images that people are talking about, quite honestly. But let me know what you guys are thinking. I think I see a few folks in the chat. Register Kev, good to see you. Sir, always a blessing to see you. Manchester United fan. Thanks for the Elanga purchase, bro. Are you guys talking about this sell-on clause and stuff like that? I don't know how much you're getting, and I get various kind of talks about it. It's between like some of you guys want to boast you got 50. It's somewhere between 5 and 15 million. I don't know. Is it 20? Is it 20%? Someone help me. Is it 20? Is it? Let me see. What's the sell-on clause for Man United? Let me just let me ask Grok. Is that Grok? Let me ask Grok while you guys are here. Grok, tell me, how much do Man United earn from the Elanga transfer? All right, so Let's see what Grok says. And then you guys can give me a more informed choice, hopefully, in the chat. Manchester United, Nottingham Forest, gives me way too much information. Okay, so given the conflicting reports, the most likely, there is conflicting reports. The most likely range Manchester United earning from the sell-on clause is between 6 million and 8.25 million, being the most commonly cited figure. Well, register, Man United, you are welcome to the 6 to 8 million. Hopefully, that will get your. I'm not going to be disrespectful. Well, take the funding there and use it for whatever you need it for, guys. You are welcome to it. Big up to you guys. Big up to you guys, and big up to Register Kev. Always, always, always a blessing to see you as well. El Capo, good to see you. God bless you. That image of the changing room is fake. Look at the shadow on the floor. It don't look real, does it, El Capo? Honestly, I've already just now that I'm kind of presenting it to you guys and looking at it, I'm like, this don't look real, man. Now that I'm seeing it, I didn't pay much attention because I was looking at my phone. Now that I'm looking on a full screen, I'm like, hold on a minute. This doesn't look real. Sarah Robson, his shirt sleeves look fake on the picture. Him holding the shirt up, yeah, I agree. And yeah, El Capo, thank you for confirming. Yeah, it's an 8 million. It's an 8 million sell-on clause for Man United. Okay, the other news, like I said, I wanted to because I'm going to go back to Trafford in a moment, but Kudus and this gentleman, Mr. Gibbs White. Let me start off with Kudus just quickly. I know you're thinking, but but I think it's what set off, and it's not just for Newcastle fans. I've seen it for Man United fans. I've seen it for fans who feel as though they haven't done much business this transfer window. And obviously, as you guys will see from the thumbnail, there's those transfer bombers that dopamine hit hasn't hit for everybody just yet, but my has it hit for Tottenham today. Obviously, we've got confirmation here that Fabrizio Romano, Mohamed Kudus has successfully passed his main part of his medical at Tottenham. And I saw I've seen the media release. It's really, really good. Like Tottenham did him proud there as well. And I know that after folks have been seeing that, not just Newcastle fans, like I've said, not just Newcastle fans, but others as well. And everybody wants that dopamine hit, understandably so. And following that, literally an hour later, Morgan Gibbs White has now been authorised for medical on Friday as the new Tottenham player. £60 million release clause triggered by Tottenham, and a deal confirmed, and one more after Kudus. And this is also on the back of, and I don't know if it's true. I saw some of our guys, the rumours about this release clause wasn't known about it. Apparently, there was an NDA on it, which is a non-disclosure, something like that. NDA, I forgot how it ends. So I don't get how they work. If you're not allowed to tell anybody you've got a release clause, then what's the point of putting a release clause? But maybe that sounds a lot more silly than it is. I just don't know. If you guys know how NDAs work in relation to release clauses, do let me know in the chat. But somehow Tottenham caught wind of it and just went straight in and purchased him. And it looks like the Thomas Frank effect. He's having that conversation with Mr. Levy, and they are buying some good players in Morgan Gibbs White, obviously linked to Newcastle for a very long time, and Mohamed Kudus, and they're buying them at, these guys are, heading into their peaks. They're Premier League proven, have both spent 2-3 years in the Premier League now. Plug and play players, essentially. They will need very limited settling in period with a very, very, very good manager. In some ways, Mr. Thomas Frank reminds me of Eddie Howe in different ways, because obviously his background in terms of kind of rising through the lower leagues and keeping the team up on a shoestring budget, and just the way he has with the media and stuff like that. There'll be less memes of the Thomas of Thomas Frank than there will be of Ange Postecoglou, and that is absolutely for sure. So I think they just need that, and I think there's going to be a real settling period for Tottenham. The only thing, ironically, not ironically, tragically, I don't know if what the right word is. Maybe tragically is the Champions League. I think because they're going to have those extra amount of games, it's going to be difficult for this squad to settle in and maybe reach its full potential in terms of the league positioning. But we'll see. We'll see. Like we're very early on into the transfer window. They may looks like they're looking for Adam Wharton as well. So which is incredible. And you're also seeing a lot of the teams that finished in the mid tables, your Brightons, your Brentfords. Forest finished a little bit higher, but their best players are getting taken off them. Morgan Gibbs White, Anthony Elanga, Mohamed Kudus. Brighton obviously had João Pedro taken off them. They're used to that kind of stuff, but so they recover quite quickly from them. Who else? Bournemouth had Zabani taken off them, Dean Huijsen taken off them, Kirk has taken off them. Look, I'm sure they got good scouts. We know that they got those players in, but it's very difficult to keep on replenishing it. So, the big teams or the bigger teams have certainly been swooping in and taking in players. So, it'll be really interesting to see. Like this Premier League is already heating up. Teams are buying, teams are purchasing, and obviously as Rich, good to see you, Rich. God bless you from Red Devil United. Stop signing players. You're making us look bad. All these sign like 2 players literally in one day. 2 players at least with medicals getting done, media's being done, and that's the kind of feeling. Like I said to you guys, not just in Newcastle, amongst Newcastle fans, amongst Man United fans, amongst fans who haven't done that much business. Arsenal have already bought 3-4 players, I think. Norgard, Kepa, Zubimendi. I feel like there's a 4th player. Someone mentioned Noni Madueke somewhere as well. Here we go. Big Watson, you mentioned Noni Madueke to Arsenal. Here we go. They paid for that. Oh, hold on. Is it here we go for Noni? Hey, hold on. Is it a here we go for Noni? Is it a here we go for Noni? Is our two best fullbacks pairing in the league? How about that? Is it a here we go for Noni? Is it a here we go for Noni? Guys, is it a here we go for Noni? Have they done it? Where's Sophie B? Sophie B in the chat. And Noni Madueke, let me search. Is Sophie... Oh, they done it! They've done it! Oh, they wouldn't done it, guys. How much? Wow. I'm only laughing. I wasn't even going to go this deep into this. I'm going to get into Newcastle news in the moment. But I don't know what you guys think of this. I know previously. I know that. We've had some lengthy chats and conversations about Noni Madueke to Newcastle, right? And overwhelmingly, I can say that people have not been keen on it. And I took it as that. But I didn't realize I think there's petitions. Arsenal fans have put up petitions. I think there's 800 signed the last time I've seen saying no to Noni. Well, Arsenal have higher ups in the hierarchy have scrapped that. So let me see what it says. In the last 7 minutes, exclusive, Fabrizio Romano, Noni Madueke to Arsenal. Here we go. Fee agreed in excess of 50 million with add-ons included. So that's the same as Elanga. Because I've seen a lot of my fellow football content creators matching that deal with Elanga. And green light from Chelsea. And it's got to the point where people are saying, "What have Chelsea got on Arsenal? Have they got some, rude pictures of their recruitment staff?" I don't know. Madueke already agreed a 5-year deal at Arsenal days ago, and he's now set to complete the move. The winger leaves Chelsea. He doesn't even get to play the final. At Chelsea. I think that's a bit hardcore. But Chelsea are brutal. If they want to play it out, Chelsea are absolutely brutal when it comes to getting a player out. I'll give you that. Goodness great. I just didn't realize. I really didn't. I didn't. I honestly think. Okay, tell me you guys. I understand we've had a banter about it. I understand we didn't want him. I get that. But for me, I think this reaction's over the top. To non people are going on like he's a total. I think someone in the chat mentioned he's a scrub. I don't think he's a scrub. I think he's a talented winger. I think his end product could be worked on, but that's like a lot of players as well. His dribbling, his one on one, like he's a good player. I think it's partly to do probably with his persona, his personality. People, I think it rubs people the wrong way, type of thing. For what, or they don't take him seriously. I don't have a problem with it, but I understand. I understand what people are saying. It. I personally don't have a problem with it. Because the metrics always show different things. Hardworking, technically good, retains the ball, excellent dribbler. But listen, honestly, the backlash I've seen on this is absolutely phenomenal. El Capo, because of Leon not getting relegated, there will be big exits at Palace. Explain that one to me, El Capo, because I don't understand it. Like that whole thing, you have to like. So, because I've seen, because it makes a lot of sense. Gay, what is happening with Gahey, guys? There's a lot of stuff I'm remembering. I need to go back to. I understand there was a big thing with Will and X and stuff like that. Poor guy. God bless him. I don't fully understand the situation. Is he signing to Liverpool or is he coming to Newcastle? Does anybody know in the chat? Because honestly, guys, I gave up on that story. Like whenever I see Gahey's name, I've just taken it as okay, he's going to Liverpool. He's going to Liverpool, and that's it. But they keep on linking us to him. I don't know what's going on. Like, is he coming to us or not? Like, because I was talking about, I thought we're going into a whole different direction as well. So, because of Leon not getting to relegated, there will be big exits at Palace. Is that because of that co-ownership stuff? So, I'm interested to see how that plays out. It might make sense about that Wharton deal as well. Aaron Cave, good to see you. God bless you. Good evening, all he says. Yeah, plus 50 million. 50 million add-ons. I don't even have I finished reading it. Yeah, he's leaving. Yeah, I think that's a bit brutal how they got them to leave before the final. Chelsea are brutal, honestly. People are having a word of a laugh on this. Arsenal need a striker, so they buy another winger. I do think they're gonna. The transfer window isn't over. I think they're gonna get Victor Eucharist. I personally prefer Sheshko. Let me know what you guys think. I think Sheshko's the better striker, and he's gonna be in the same kind of category as higher tier level strikers, in my opinion. The guys, if anything has taught me today, Aaron and others, is that this transfer window isn't finished. Like, obviously, we've just started. Like, it's just started. I mean, that's why I got the thumbnail. Like, it is going off. This was just in one day. We've had two purchases by Tottenham. If they could have finished, they could have. If they weren't, they really tried to buy Wharton today. By the way, the media outlets, don't be surprised if they get him tomorrow. That's frightening, guys, by the way. That is frightening, in my opinion. Aaron Kane, I wonder where that leaves when he's not going to want game. He 1 year, and I knew this about him when I watched him play, and I saw an interview with him, and I love to hear from players' own mouths how they see themselves as players, what positions, what profile, how they like to see themselves. 1 year himself says, I'm a midfielder. He just says, I'm a straight up midfielder. But if they want, if the coach asks me to do play on the wings or whatever, I can do a job. I can do it. He's not a right winger. He's not a left winger. He's not a winger. He is a midfielder. The position I think he really wants is the attacking midfield role where Erdegaard is. So I think that's the plan for him. I think Madueke can play across the front three. People are laughing about him playing. Is he left footed or right footed? I think he's right footed. So he's an inside left wing forward. Like, honestly, anyway, we'll see. We'll see. I might have a lot of egg on my face from the season. I don't personally think so. And I think if I was Madueke, we're going to learn about his character. We're going to learn about his personality in this season. If I was Madueke and I was watching the hate, and some of it has gone way over the top, in my opinion, I would use that as fuel to the fire on in my performance, improving people wrong each and every time about how good I am. Let's see. Let's see if he's got the character for it. Big Watson, Arteta don't improve players though. Arteta doesn't improve players. I'd love to hear. I wonder if Wobojog is here. I haven't. I wonder if Wobojog is here. I'd love to know that. Al Capo Palace not in the UEFA Cup. Also, oh sheesh. Oh wow, Palace players are leaving. They are. They are indeed. Oh, I've lost it where I am now. Yeah, Wanyeri. Yeah, Aaron Kane. Wanyeri's a 10. Honestly, that's what I think it is. Well, Davey Eddie, good to see you. God bless you, sir. Good to see you. Gehi is still my favorite defender. Would still love to sign him. Xavi Simmons from Leipzig would be some signing. I wonder how serious we. I wonder if our name has just been banded around with him as well. I do. I would love a number 10. I would really love an all-out number 10. All right. So, was there anything else I wanted to cover? Some interesting stuff, like honestly, popping off each and everywhere else. Is there anything else I wanted to cover? Newcastle related, but also looking out. Right. Yes, that's it. There's Trafford. I'm going to cover. A bit of Gordon new. Well, let's see. We're going to talk about Hugo Ekitike extensively in a moment. Okay, let me just touch on the Trafford stuff and get you guys' thoughts on this. And this is via Lee Ryder, but via the post from Mouth on the Tyne. Oh, come on. Why am I jumping off screens here? That's not good. Right, so Newcastle United and Burnley are now edging closer to an agreement over James Trafford. I think it was the last couple of days, it wasn't looking like that, but the deal is not yet finalized. I feel like that's been a story for a while now. I don't know what the fees are, so I'm not going to be sitting here saying just pay them what they want. Us paying clubs what they want, we know that gets us in the whole heap of PSR mess. So you won't be seeing me advocating for that. But I know that Trafford's got speaking of sell-on clauses, he's got a sell-on clause as well. So it'll be money going to Man City, which Burnley aren't keen to pay. But they've bought their replacement keeper now. Guys, will Trafford be the next guy over the line after Madueke? That's what I would love to know. I hope we're getting over the line as soon as possible. To be honest, I just want a ball-playing goalkeeper playing at Newcastle right now. Let me know you guys' thoughts on Trafford. I'll finish up a little bit on the Gordon news. This is from the Anfield edition, to be honest. But we know that Gordon's been rumored for a long time in terms of exits and stuff like that. I personally think some people are not necessarily happy about that, but I feel like some people are a bit quick to say, yeah, fine, we'll move on. For me personally, it's very hard to find a left wing forward, a left winger of the caliber and capability of Gordon. I think he's a Champions League level player, in my opinion. This is from Footy Insider. So Liverpool are plotting. So Anfield Edition are quoting Footy Insider. Liverpool are plotting a late summer move for Anthony Gordon. Newcastle privately valued the winger at around £100 million. I'm laughing because that's just another way of us saying we're not selling the guy. There's a lot of people looking at Rodrigo. Let me know, guys. Do you think that Liverpool are going to go for this or not? Would you? I just want to see Isak, Gordon, and Elanga. I need to see that. I need to see that, and I need to see a number 10. I need to see that. I don't know if Liverpool are going to go for 100 million. I think Rodrigo might be a little bit less than that as well. So I think Liverpool will push for him, and they'll push for a couple of other players as well. But let's see. That'll be an explosive bomber for sure. For sure. Big Watson, Trafford deal needs to be done or walk away. Gehi 2.0 from last summer. Is it a Gehi 2.0 from last summer? Only difference is, well, there's a couple of differences. Burnley's chairman hasn't gone on a media tour telling everybody, talking about Trafford, and the price hasn't gone from 20 million to 50 million, for instance, which is what Gahey went from like 40, 50 to 75 million type of stuff. So it's a little bit different, but I know what you're saying. It's turned into a saga type of thing, isn't it? So let's see. Let's see. Let's get it over the line as soon as possible, in my opinion. Aaron Kane, I wonder what's happening with those two mystery targets from Europe. So am I. Just want to see us kick on from now and get an Elanga. Well, speaking of mystery targets from Europe, that leads me on really, really nicely onto our next segment, which is to discuss. Oh gosh, I got myself off the browser. There we go, which is to discuss a former European target in Mr. Hugo Ekitike. So Toon transfer bombers, and they really are bombers. They're going off absolutely everywhere. Let me see. Where are we? Let me make sure you guys can see that. Yeah, you can. Obviously, we're going to talk about the directors in a moment, or not in a moment, a little bit later. Hugo Ekitike. Hugo Ekitike. Where are you? Where art thou? Well, first I'm going to see the Fabrizio comment, but we're going to talk about him in some depth in a moment. Okay, so here we are. We're going to talk about him in some moments. First of all, why are we talking about Hugo Ekitike? Because, let me take this one. Mr. Fabrizio Romano, I have to go back to my X post. I did bookmark it. I hope I did. I'm sure I did. All right, so let's get on it. Bookmark. All right, Elanga, Trafford. Here we go. Make sure you guys can see that. Yeah, you can. Okay, so Hugo, this came from Fabrizio Romano yesterday. Now, I know there's a whole type of thing. Is it agent driven? Is it this? Is it that? I don't know. I suspect that there could be the case, but I'm going to take it as is. And so I've gone back to obviously kind of having a little bit closer look on Mr. Hugo Ekitike as well. So, okay, but back to Romano. Hugo Ekitike keeps attracting interest from the Premier League, with Newcastle keen on the striker. So that's his first opening line. Hugo, Premier League, Newcastle United. They wanted to get that out there. Whoever he was speaking to wanted to get that out there. Was it not PSG? Was it Eintracht Frankfurt? Was it Hugo Ekitike? I suspect it's Frankfurt. I think there's a couple of players that are in for a couple of clubs that are considering him, but no one's making real major moves. And for whatever reason, putting Newcastle's name into various players that are on the market gets the market going. More Premier League clubs, says Fabrizio, remain also informed on the situation after Liverpool and Chelsea calls in June. So Liverpool and Chelsea are interested. I'll be surprised if Chelsea are. They've got Pedro, they've got the lab, but then you can never rule out Chelsea, to be honest with you. Liverpool do need forwards, obviously. So I wouldn't be surprised. Also, Al Hilal and Al Kadishe, I'm pronouncing it wrong, forgive me, called in recent weeks, but his priority, I think that's the giveaway. His priority is Europe. How do you know his priority for Victor Romano? Because his agent told you. So I think maybe that's where it's likely the source is coming from. So, okay, so that's where we're at with Mr. Hugo Ekitike. Let's just remind ourselves. Obviously, we knew that we were chasing him. We were real big fans of him a couple years ago, alongside João Pedro and others. He decided to go to PSG, which is understandable as his boyhood club, I think. And it didn't quite work out for him. And look, he should have come to Newcastle. Hindsight is lucrative. We have a habit of turning, I'm not saying that he's an average player, but we have a habit of turning average players into good good players into very good players, and very good players into your Isak level players. So it's interesting that his agent, if that was agent driven, that he put our name into it. Is it him calling out Newcastle saying, "Hey, come on, we're available"? Is it him trying to drive other clubs to get involved? Maybe it's a bit of both. I don't know, but let's see. Let me know in the chat what you guys think. What is leading this, or do you think there's some real credible motive there, and that is that Hugo Ekitike probably wants Newcastle to bid? Let me know. Okay, so let's see how he's progressed since he went from PSG to us. Now, as of the season just gone in 24-25, can you guys see that? Yeah, you can. 24-25. He's played in the Bundesliga. He's played in the in all competitions, 3,600 minutes, which is immense. That includes the Europa League, the DFB Pokal, which is obviously their version of the FA Cup, and obviously the Bundesliga itself. That's an incredible amount of games. So that looks like what, 45? Is that 45? 48 games played, 3,600 minutes. Incredible. 22 goals and 12 assists. So that's a 36 goal contribution. 36 goal contribution. Is that my maths right? No, 34 goal contribution, excuse me. In 48 games played. I think that's really, really good. Despite, I think that's a really, really good return, in my opinion. The season before that, what was his stats? He played 17 matches all in all. He wasn't getting much game time, but he had 4 goals, 2 assists before that. The season he chose to go to PSG instead of us, he played a little bit more games. He was involved in 32 games, but played 1,300 minutes, so not a lot. 4 goals, 4 assists. So you can see very clear, like him or don't like him, what is very, very clear, very, very clear. The more minutes you give Mr. Ekitike, the more goals and assists, the more GA he gives you. So, in my opinion, he has done very well for himself in terms of all that he has been achieving. So let me see. Let's just get his contract situation and see how much he's on at the moment, if we can. I was having a butcher's at Mr. Ollie Watkins. I was going to discuss him, but he's been linked to us as well. I probably won't, though, in the show, unless obviously things formalize a bit. So Ekitike turned 23 last month. 1 meter 90. What's that? 6'5", 6'6". Currently plays for the France under 19s. Is very much a centre forward as well. His contract runs out in 2029. His market value on transferwindow.com is at 75 million euros, which, and transfermarket.com, in my opinion, are quite reserved in their valuations. So Frankfurt, I think, are demanding 100 million, which is about 85 million pounds. If they demand 100 million, they'll probably settle for around that figure, between 65, 75 million pounds, in my opinion, or 65 to 75 million, in my opinion. So that'll be interesting. Let me see. Do we have his capology? So how much is he earning at the moment? As you guys can see, I was doing my matchups with Mr. Isak, Hugo Ekitike, and Isak as well. So we're going to be talking about them as well. So let me just, before I get to the chats, let me just see if I can get his. Do we have his? All right. So he's on 67,308 million euros, which is around 55,000 pounds. So very low weight. He's very much in our bracket of if we were going to get a forward. He's only just turned 23 on a very low wage compared to what we would pay other players. A lot of experience, European league experience, has proven that the more minutes you give him, the more GA he gives you as well. So, and I guess the main thing is the valuation. But are they wrong for the valuation at Eintracht Frankfurt? He's not 100 million euros. But then either is Cunha 60 million, either is Mbemo 70 million. Elanga, I don't think is. I think Elanga's probably between. We're not too far from his valuation, I think, if it was a different market, but things have gone up as well. So I think just that kind of general profile overview before we go into his stats and everything else and scout report. There's a lot to kind of like about Ekitike. I don't know what you guys' views are. Like I said, I'm gonna read about your views in a moment. So I'm gonna look at his scout report. I'm gonna match him up to Isak. I'm also gonna ask, can they play together? Because my hope, and I'll be honest with you guys, when this report came out, I was like, people were happy, and I was like, I hope this isn't no replacement talk type of thing. So let's keep that. Let's keep the R word to a minimum. I hope it's Newcastle are gonna. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I hope to see if we're serious about Mr. Ekitike. I hope it's to see him play with Isak as well. So, and that's on the back of obviously Gordon, Barnes. Let's see. Anyway, we'll talk about all that in a moment. So let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Davey Eddy, Ekitike is a real good player. I fully agree with that. I would still welcome him to the Toon, so would I. Best things are worth waiting for. Absolutely. I absolutely look at Tonali. Sheesh, we had to wait for him in more ways than one. But look how it's paying off for us. Absolute big time. So I agree with that. Aaron Kane, to be honest, I wondered to be surprised. I keep saying I wouldn't. I wouldn't be surprised if Ekitike's agent is using our name. I think so too, to drum up attention again, like what happened before. I really wouldn't be surprised. Either would I, but the question would be: is Newcastle's interest genuine, and is Hugo Ekitike genuine about it? Should Newcastle make an offer? Because you can drum a business, but you can still be interested. I don't know if so. That's the other thing I was going to say. I did say the last sentence at the end is makes me think that it's his agent, but if it's to drum a business, I don't know if it's necessarily to the advantage. There is advantages that from Hugo Ekitike's camp, which is more options. But I think the bigger advantage is for Eintracht Frankfurt, which is to get a bidding war going. I think there's people that are phoned up, Liverpool, Chelsea, maybe Newcastle, who have made inquiries about the price and perhaps let them know, look, hey, how much is, Eddie Howe or Steve Nixon gave a call and said, how much for Ekitike? And Frankfurt said 100 million euros. And after Steve Nixon stopped laughing on the phone, he said, all right, look, we'll go up. We might be willing to go as high as like a 70 million package, right? So that includes kind of add-ons and everything else within that. So maybe like 60 million pounds or 10 million pounds add-ons, that kind of stuff. And Frankfurt probably said, it's not what we're looking for, but we'll keep it in consideration. And hence why then they give a call to Fabrizio. And maybe Liverpool and Chelsea kind of were talking about similar figures as us, for instance. And Frankfurt said they gave a call to Fabrizio Romano and said, Fabrizio, a lot of Premier League clubs are looking at Mr. Hugo Ekitike. Even Saudi clubs are looking at Hugo Ekitike, but he is interested in Europe. So that could be this. That's how I kind of played out the story in my mind anyway. Wobo Joe, good to see you and God bless you. Sup everyone, what's up to you? You might not have been here, but someone asked, has Arteta improved any players at Arsenal? So if do let me know, has Arteta improved or developed any players at Arsenal? Do let us know. You can just name us the players if you feel like he has, or just say no, he hasn't. El Capo, I think it's Agent Orange Juice. Probably. BT, good to see you and God bless you. It would be fair to say that Al Ramayan is spread pretty thin and his priority is not Newcastle United. Why do you think that? The need for our reminder to rubber stamp things has actually put an operational drag on the club. Okay, okay, all right, okay. I see what you're saying. I don't think he's that thin, spread that thin where he can't make a decision. He'll have to make a decision on stuff like that. Um, Hence why CEOs, remember, we don't have a CEO, we don't have a sporting director. We haven't had that for a little while. So maybe things, so I can forgive him a little bit. But look, Elanga's over the line. Trafford isn't over the line, not because of Ramayan, it's because Burnley want the best deal possible, which is fair to them. And look how we're doing with Sean Longstaff. I was all giving Longstaff his goodbye speech on Tuesday, only for Newcastle to turn around and say, "Yeah, no, we reject the bid." Right? So that's not Leeds' fault. That's not their director's fault. It's Newcastle causing delays and complications. Yeah. So ITK rumors circulating again. We do not have 100 million euros to spend on one player. What nonsense! I think that's part of the picture. So the 100 million, do we have 100 million pounds to spend on one player if we sell a Barnes, for instance? I think we do, for sure. Um, I think it will always be one in and one out. That's what I think. And I wonder today, it makes me think of today as well. Has Elanga not been announced because we want to also make sure we secure the selling of Longstaff? I wonder if tomorrow, before Elanga is announced, is Longstaff's exit going to be announced? That would be interesting to see. Cy Robson, I think that the Ekitike rumors are Newcastle doing their homework. If God forbid Isak leaves, God forbid, exactly like you said, Cy Robson. Um, Ekitike, Sheshko, if those rumors start getting hotter and hotter, geez Louise, that'll be the concern. But I'm hopeful that Isak will stay, and hopefully, if it is Ekitike, it's because he's coming to play with Isak, and I'm sure that's why Lang is here as well. So hopefully, that's what we're going to get. And although I love Barnes and he has his quality, the best scenario would be if Ekitike were to come in, it's Barnes and not Isak and not Gordon who are leaving, but it's Barnes. That'd be the ideal situation for Newcastle United, which is our primary concern. But yes, absolutely, sir. Genius the one out. Good to see you. God bless you. Even if Philip and the chat, even to you. And guys, do remember to like, share, and subscribe. You've been doing phenomenal in the comments as well. We're getting some record number of views. Like every time I put it out, I remember seeing this like really kind of blowing up as well. And people watching live, 26 people. It's good to see. Like I think it's 26 people and stuff like that. It's absolutely phenomenal. And you guys, and this is right into it's a late evening show, and you guys are always with me. So God bless you guys. Do remember to like, share, and subscribe as always. You guys make the show what it is, and the more of you guys that keep on doing that, the more folks we get, the more the channel goes out to people as well. And once I get my PDF sorted out, we're going to get the PowerPoint looking nice and crisp as well. So El Capo, he's a beast. He will command a premium fee of around 80 million euros and double of his wages. Yeah, so we'll probably paying 100K for him, which is fine for Newcastle. Like, it makes a lot of sense. His age, his wage, his quality, his experience. Ekitike makes a lot of. He's a Newcastle player. Like he's a Newcastle player. Longstaff would be fire in Italy. Well, is that because we're thinking of McTominay? McTominay looks. I don't know if you guys have seen Mr. McTominay. He's looking like a new man. He is the Don McTominay of Naples. Honestly, goodness gracious, fantastic. Absolutely happy for the kid. But I think Longstaff wants to go to Leeds. So that's where he's going. But good call there, Petras. Job. I think every player that managed to physically adapt have improved on the tactical side in general. So that's in relation to your question around my question around players improving under Arteta in general. That's why Fabio Vieira couldn't last with us, for example. So fair play. So there's a general improvement, and there is. That's the reason why you guys are considered, top two, top three sides in England. And yeah, that's a fair comment. Thank you, Wobblejog. Toon Army Yo's. Good to see you and God bless you. I have a sneaky feeling Elanga will be announced with Isak contract and shirt number swap. Do you know what? I'm gonna I'm gonna go back to this comment and I'm gonna call you a prophet. I hope so. That's a really, really, really. I love that. I love that. I really love that comment. I hope that'll be the case. I really hope that'll be the case. Jam Stasha, love that comment too. To Nami. Jam Stasha, the fact that we were linked with João Pedro and now Katika concerns me about Isak's future with us, to be honest. I think João Pedro was never going to be an Isak replacement. We did a show on him before. I think he really was going to play a number 10 role for us. And actually, the reason why he didn't join Newcastle, if you've seen if the rumors are to believe, is because he didn't want to compete with Isak, right? So we've got the Harry Kane. Well, it's a nice problem, but the Harry Kane problem that Tottenham fans had is that nobody really wanted the smoke competing with Isak, So Ekitike, I'm wondering if we're looking at Ekitike for the same reason we're looking at João Pedro, and we're going to talk about Ekitike. We're going to talk about his profile. The more that we're talking about, I'm going to talk about it and get you guys' perspective on it just after this comment with Davey Eddie. Philip, I think we will get Trafford. So do I. And another good signing after that, hopefully a centre back, a right centre back. And I still feel one of our blue chip players could still go. Not sure which one though. That is a possibility, Davey. That is a possibility. But this Longstaff exit, Elanga incoming, lets me think that we're trying to do the best in managing our PSR the best way possible, in my opinion. So let's see. So let me a few more comments, and then I'll get into the nitty and the gritty and the scout into the scout profiles for Ekitike. Wilbur Jog, by the way, watching your show with Bobby Fairview has me convinced KSC and Clear Lake have some secret relationship. 52 for Noni. They didn't even negotiate. It was bid, then immediately. Do you know what? That thing was so fast moving. I don't know if you've seen Wobble Jog. Chelsea's got a final to play at Cup World Cup, and they didn't even let Noni sit down on the bench for that. They moved them out so swiftly. Let me know what you think about Noni or Jog. You know that I like Noni, but I didn't realize how much people dislike him. And I think part of this again is, in my point of view, Arsenal fans, especially online, or Arsenal fans in general, are being bantered so hard by rival fans that they're taking their emotions out on Noni to an extreme level because they want to prove that, yeah, this is not serious. We're getting violated. Da, 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 da. That's my take. I think again, when it comes to Arsenal fans online and rival banter, I feel like the Arsenal fans like a dog chasing his tail, in my opinion. And it's not fans like you, Obajog. You're very balanced, very intelligent. But I just don't think the stuff on Noni is that deep, in my opinion. Jam Stasha, no, I don't believe that, Philip. It just doesn't make sense to me. I forgot what I said, Jam Stash. What did we talk about? Oh, okay. So yeah. So you're kind of you're kind of like, oh no, you're worried about this replacement stuff. Fair play to you. That makes sense. Matt Lou, I've never seen on the channel before, but welcome, and God bless you to the channel. Any rumors of a midfield? Because I feel we do need one or two in case of injuries, especially if we sell Longstaff. I think there will be. We talked to there's a couple young midfielders. There's Douglas Luiz, his older midfielder. We're going to be doing the scout report on that soon, especially after Longstaff leaves. All right, so I'm going to two more comments, and I'm actually going to start talking about Ekitike properly. Could Ekitike be a replacement for Gordon on the left? Okay, that's a great segue. Just one more. Tsunami Noni is better than Martinelli. Yes, he is. In my opinion, he is. He's a left wing forward. I don't honestly. Well, he's a right winger, but he's right-footed, and I think Arteta wants to play him as an inside forward. It's not that hard. It just adds a new dimension to what you're doing. Like, that's just me. But as Sir Wilson puts, could Ekitike be a replacement for Gordon on the left? And that segues us really, really nicely to our scout report. So as mentioned, in my opinion, just the overall profile view of Ekitike. He's a very much a Newcastle United player. He's 23 years old with tons of experience on the European level, On the league level, he's played over 3,600 minutes in this year alone, 40 plus games, I think 48 games with 34 GA. In the previous seasons, he's played less minutes with less GA, but you can already see that the more minutes you give this man, the more he scores, the more he assists, the more he creates as well. So let's find out why. Let's see what his playing style is, what kind of a forward he is, what he does. So, and also, how does he match up to Isak? Let me make sure you guys can see this. Yeah, you can. I can't wait till I resolve this PDF stuff and I can make it nice and clearer for you. And big up Richie for kind of pointing this out to me as well. So I'm looking forward to making it a lot more easy for you guys to watch and to read. All right, so just overall, and his wage is around 50K. What did I say, guys? Is it 50K, 50, 60 euros, so around 50K? We double it and he's still make it 100K and he's still within our wage bracket. So absolutely phenomenal in terms of that, as well as being a France under 21 international. So playing style. Hugo Ekitike appears to be a dynamic. I took the FB ref stats, put it onto our AI stuff as well, and this is what we got. So Hugo Ekitike appears to be a dynamic, modern forward with a mix of physicality and technical ability, and you'll see that in his scout reports as well. His high percentile ranking in metrics like progressive carries, 99th percentile for progressive carries, guys. Successful take-ons, 88th percentile, and touches in the attacking penalty area, 90th percentile. Suggests he's an agile, direct, and ball-carrying forward who thrives in advanced positions. He's like 6'5", 6'4". He's wiry, strong, got incredible agility. His physicality is so unique. It's almost like a striker that we have playing for us. He likely operates as a versatile striker or a second striker, and that has been mentioned. So he's a forward, but he's also good at playing a second as a supporting striker as well. So can he play in a number 10? Yes. So capable of dropping deep to link up play or running in behind defenses, which is what Eddie Howe really loves in his forwards, the ones that run in behind the defensive. His strengths are clear: dribbling and take-ons. Excellent take-on success and progressive carries, strong dribble skills, and ability to beat defenders one-on-one, making him a threat in tight spaces. Again, if we're going to be facing low blocks and all of that stuff, this is the man to have. Attacking movement, high touches in the penalty area, frequently involved in dangerous attacking zones, suggesting good positioning and off-the-ball movement. And I also included heat map. So I also took his heat map and Isak's heat map. I'll show that in a moment as well. Passing and vision, decent pass percentile rankings in progressive passes, possessive passes received. So 88 percentile. So that's him receiving passes in the attacking third. And pass completion in the 81 percentile, which is good. Highlights his ability to contribute to build-up play and link up with teammates. So you can see him possibly interchanging with Isak if they're playing together. Physicality and aerial presence is aerial duels 76 percentile, and shot creating actions at 85 percentile, suggests he can hold up play and is effective in aerial challenges, adding a physical dimension to his game. He's got that wiry strength about him as well. Weaknesses, right? So goal conversion isn't the greatest. His non-penalty goals at 45 percentile, and even though he got 22 goals this year, that suggests to me that he could have got even more. His XG is at 45 percentile, which isn't great. It indicates he may struggle at converting chances at a high rate, suggesting room for improvement in finishing, which we know, coming to Eddie Howe at Newcastle United, we can improve that. Remember, Isak scored six goals in his previous season before he came to Newcastle. And Anthony Gordon never scored more than 5 goals before he came to Newcastle. So, yeah, discipline is also an issue in terms of his weakness in disciplinary. You've got a high percentile in yellow cards. He's 90 percentile. You're a forward. You're going to be tussling with big old defenders all the time. I don't mind that. I think it's a good indicator of aggression in his play, which could lead to a suspension to tactical disadvantages. I don't know if anybody can see how many red cards he's got. I don't think I'll be interested to see that. I think he plays on the edge. And Eddie Howe likes players who play on the edge. Just ask Joe Linton, ask Tonali, ask Anthony Gordon, ask Bruno Gomes. That's his thing. Defensive contribution, he'll have to work on that for Newcastle. Low ranking in defensive actions like tackles, but again, I haven't got a chance to look at Eintracht Frankfurt. They might be a high possession team, so that might be the reason why that's low. Interceptions, low. He's not heavily involved in defensive duties. Maybe he's not asked to. Typical of a traditional forward, but a potential limitation in a pressing system, which Newcastle are. Consistency in shots. I wonder if he played for PSG now, what kind of a forward he would be. I think he would be a pressing forward who wins. He's a lot more higher in his defensive metrics. Consistency in shots. His shots on target 54 percentile and shots creating actions is 85 percentile. Showed that variability, indicating he might not always capitalize on his position with consistent shot quality. So he gets in the right positions, but his shot quality isn't always the greatest. So the main thing is that he's in the right positions. The rest can take care of itself, and that'll be through coaching really, and that is not a problem for Newcastle. And I think we can coach that into him. So in summary, Hugo Ekitike is likely a mobile, technically gifted forward with a strong dribbling and carrying game, making him effective in breaking lines and creating opportunities. Eddie Howe loves that. He excels as an attacking focal point with good movement and aerial ability, but needs to improve his goal conversions and discipline. He fits best as a forward who can stretch defenses. And link up play. He reminds me do you guys remember Demba Ba? Reminds me a little bit of that. I loved Demba Ba at Newcastle. Potentially thriving in a system that leverages his pace and ball carrying rather than relying solely on him as a poacher or target man. So our system will be great for him. So a lot of good stuff there. Technical ability, carrying the ball, being in the right places in terms of shot creating actions, positioning, link up play. Really, really, really good. Needs to work on his conversion. I don't mind the discipline stuff. I think he's got aggression and link up play, aggression and kind of plays on the edge, which I think suits Newcastle United. I think could be a really, really good player. Now, before we match him up to Isak and ask the question, can they play together, and all these other things, let's see what you guys telling me in the chat. How do you guys feel about Mr. Ekitike? Let's see what you guys are saying. All right, so Ekitike would be, this is Davey Eddie. Ekitike would be a step up from Gordon, in my opinion. Controversial, I know, but I really rate Ekitike. I don't know if it's that controversial, Davey. I have to think about that. Maybe I should have did the matchup between him and Gordon. Maybe remind me for next time, Davey, to do that. I don't think that's controversial. Are you kind of seeing maybe a Gordon exit to Liverpool and Ekitike to Newcastle? Who would want that? Who would want to see Ekitike? Tell me, guys, in the chat and let me know in the comments. Do let me know in the comments. What's a better front three? Gordon, Isak, Elanga, or Ekitike, Isak, Elanga? So is it Gordon, Isak, Elanga, or Ekitike, Isak, Elanga? Let me know, guys, in the chat and in your comments as well. Tsunami, how did Hugo perform after Mamouche left Frankfurt? That's a great question. All I know is that I don't know how it went afterwards for him, but generally 48 games played, 34 goal contributions. I think he's had a very 3,600 minutes played. He's had a very, very good season, in my opinion. I think he had a decent performance against Tottenham as well. He scored goals against Tottenham he scored a goal, I think, against Tottenham in Europa as well. BT, so decent, I think. BT, 100 million euros and 86 million. Okay, so 100 million euros is 86 million pounds. Yeah, we're not paying 86 million pounds. Oh, you say you can't see FB ref? No, that's because I've got you on this one. So I'm just saying that I've taken the FB race, already taken the FB ref stats and put it onto the AI and I've put it onto this as well. So it's all good, Genius stuff. Uh, £86 million feels it's in today's market. You wouldn't say for a guy that scored 22 goals isn't. It's we're not paying £86 million. I think if Newcastle were serious about him, genuinely serious, we're probably looking, and it doesn't help when Cunha's and Buemos and all those guys go for 60, 70 million pounds. Honestly, it doesn't help. It doesn't help when Money Madueke is going for 50 plus million pounds either. I think at minimum, Frankfurt will look between 75 million. I think Newcastle, if Newcastle were to make a package around 70, 75 million, so a package which includes add-ons. So if Newcastle came forward with the offer of £65 million with £10 million in add-ons, I don't think Frankfurt reject that straight away. I think there'll be some real careful consideration for it, in my opinion. What jog? But let me know what you guys think. Jog honestly depends on the base. If it's 30 million base and the rest is add-ons, or this is for Noni. In installments, I can solo it, but if we don't get our main targets, it will get very toxic, especially for the first 6 games. The base is 50 million Jog. I don't know if you see. I don't know if you've seen the. It's been confirmed Jog. You guys, it's 50 million pounds like base, five and some. I think it's 5 million add-ons. Like it's been confirmed. It's not 30. It's 50. So let the meltdown commence. El Capo, Ekitike smashed that at Frankfurt. He did. And he did. He did. He absolutely smashed it. He absolutely smashed. Make bones note about it. Like he is a tier one prospect. Ekitike, Seshko are that level. Okay, two tiered. Isak, Haaland are the top. I know that Haaland's at the very top. Excuse me, Man City fans. I know that Haaland's one star, scored 50 goals and stuff like that. But in terms of like, it's Haaland, Isak, and then the next tier of strikers, Ekitike, Sheshko, in my opinion. So, Cy Robson, Ekitike, and Isak could swap positions during the game. They would be unstoppable down the left. Oh, 100%. 100%. Absolutely agree with that. Matt Lou, thanks for the warm welcome. Anytime, sir. God bless you. Watching all the way from South Africa. Wow. God bless you in South Africa. Did you go to the? I know the guys from the. Is it Big Six guys? Did a show at South Africa. I don't know. Let me know if Matt Lou, if you've been there before, but absolutely incredible. Great to have you, Matt Lou. Great to have you on. Iniesta Wijnaldum, it's interesting that we have gone back for the targets we had in 2022. Well, had it not been for PSR, we would have bought them guys in 24, 23. But it is what it is. But yes, exactly. Because at the end of the Iniesta, at the end of the day, they've all worked out. Eddie Howe, the recruitment team, were all right. When we went for Ekitike and he was paying for Reams, nobody knew who he was. Now he scored 34 goals in 48 games, including Europe, including the Bundesliga. We were proved right. João Pedro. Ask Chelsea fans how they feel about João Pedro right now. We were going for him when he was still at Watford. We were right. Our recruitment team was right. David Ekitike, Isak, Elanga would be frightening. I agree. I agree. That said, so would Gordon Elanga. Yeah, I agree too. I wouldn't mean to have a pop at Gordon. He's a great Champions League level player. I keep telling people, I agree. Honestly, Davey, I agree. Uh, yes, big preach. Good to see you. Well gone to you, sir. Good to see you. God bless you as always. Cy Robson, the pace we have up front will give defenses out. It will give out. It honestly will. I mean, if it will scare the socks off them, honestly. Warbodrog, the only positive here is Noni explodes as many scouts claim is open. Explosion soon. or Arteta making his own bed and will have to lay on the fans. And when the fans turn on him, I like him, but he's testing my patience. And that's fair, Wobajog, honestly, and that's a fair assessment. So long as fans, my main thing is in general is don't let the banter sway your decision making about Arteta and about the club. I always get the feeling that Arsenal fans are highly, highly sensitive to banter of rival fans, and it what's the word? It kind of clouds their vision, in my opinion. Just my humble opinion from the outsider looking in. El Capo, what it shows is that Newcastle United scouting was bang on point regarding, yeah, we were right. We were right. And you know what? For instance, even Gahey, speaking of Gahey, the guy won the FA Cup. The guy won the FA Cup with Crystal Palace. Eddie Howe was right to pursue him the way he did. Remember, we were all saying, oh, I can't believe it. He's not worth 40 million. He's not worth 50 million. He went, oh, he is. He is. He was then anyway, when he had 2 years left on his contract. Sarah Robson's going for Ekitike, Isak, and Elanga. Honestly, take your pick. Gordon, Isak, and Elanga for Ginesta. Gordon helps his LB a lot. That's true. The defensive work rate. Don't see Ekitike emulating that kind of work rate as a pure left winger. Yeah, good point there. Good point there. Matt Lou, Gordon, Isak, Murphy still does it for. Big up to you, Matt Lou. You're like, yo, Elenka's got to earn his spot. Murphy is the man. Gordon, Isak, and Murphy. So you know what, guys? When we're playing, who we playing? Is it Villa we're starting off away? that might be the starting lineup, and the Langa's on the bench. And if we get a left wing, whoever is going to be on the bench. Just know that. Good call, Matlu. Pee Wee Herman. God bless you. Great to have you on the channel. Would love having the best striker duo in the world. Who? Let me know. Wobajok, if it's 50 million base, then we need a new show with Bobby Fairview for Clear Lake and KSC. That transfer sticks like rotten. I'm gonna if you guys demand it, I will get him back on. I'll ask him very kindly. David Barter, no way we pay 80 million plus for Ekitike. I don't think we do, but I do see a world where we pay like a base. We have to pay a baseline of 65 million plus because of everything else that's happening with other Morgan Williams Wire just got sold for 60 million plus. So we have to go higher in terms of our baseline. We're looking at 65 million plus add-ons. Maybe I think Eintracht Frankfurt might demand a baseline of 70 million and might take 5 million add-ons. That kind of stuff. I can see that happening, in my opinion. But great point there. Wobajog, think our clubs need to get into the multi-club ownership. Yeah, we're planning to do that for sure. Such that trying unproven talent like João Pedro at Watford isn't as expensive for the parent club if it's done while trying him at the sister club. Yeah, we have to move like that, especially with such an outdated PSR. Speaking of PSR, actually, it's not speaking of PSR. But guys, do remember to like, share, and subscribe. That is my PSR. I'm restricted. This channel is restricted from going out into the world. Like PSR restricts spending. Like the more PSR, think of likes as revenue. The more likes we have, the higher the revenue, the more players we can buy, and the more the higher likes we get, the more the channel gets out there. So let's break that PSR, guys. I messed that up. But guys, do like, share, and subscribe. It'd be great to have you on and more people to come on the channel. Ginesta Wijnaldum, Longstaff will quite clearly leave. Which replacement would you want to see come in? Great question. I think we're probably going to go for a young midfielder. I don't know if I'm a player, but I would love to see like an attacking, possibly like someone in a number 10 role, in my opinion. So who can do a number 10 type of role. I think I'll be keen to see that. Davey Eddie, I feel when Ekitike went to PSG, they had Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar. Yeah, exactly. He had no chance. He had no hope. Maybe he was a bit He was just a bit overawed. He's definitely come good now. Great age as well to get him. I agree, honestly. Whoever gets him now is gonna have a great player on their hands. Tsunami, I think we could pay 70, 80 million for the right versatile forward stroke number 10. Yes. It'll also definitely mean a big sell, which will probably be a Barnes type of sell, in my opinion. I think we can pay, yeah, 80 mil will be stretch, will be a lot, but I think it'll be doable. David Barter, agree with your points, Philip. I meant we can't afford 80 million plus, not with the amount of players we need. Yes, yeah, absolutely. Thank you, David. Yeah, absolutely. We are in alignment. Ginista Wijnaldum, what's your favorite Newcastle 11 of all time that you have seen? Jeez, that'll take me a while, Ginesta. I will say that I've got I can't name them all now because I'm going to go into the scouting report, but obviously I started supporting Newcastle when we played Monaco and Henri was still playing for them. Some of the best football I've seen was when we had Shearer, Ferdinand, and Ginola. But also that I know people might not like this, but that year under Pardew when we had Demba Ba, Cisse, Kolo was in defence, Cheick Tiote. I'm thinking of Ekitike. Cheick Tiote, God rest his soul and bless his children and family, and Kabai in the midfield. And now we've got to combine with those players in Bruno Gomes. I really love those days. We played really, we were unlucky to get into the Champions League, but we had some really good players. 80 million euros would get you Ekitike. It definitely, I thought it was 100 million. I thought it was 100. If it's 80 million euros, yeah, absolutely. It works around 65 million quid. Is he up? Can anybody confirm? I thought it was 100 million he's up for. Or if it's 80 million, it's doable. It's absolutely doable. All right, so let's see. How does Mr. Ekitike match up with Isak? And can the two play together? Let me get a drink before I talk about this as well. I hopefully get some time to talk about his directors. All right, so let me make sure you guys can see that. Yes, you can. Okay, so Alexander's stat comparison. So I took this is from FBref, and for the I put the FBref, I compared the two together. Their stats from this season or from the season that we just had, 24-25. I compare them together, and let's see their strengths and weaknesses against each other. Who excels at what? So stat comparisons: Alexander Isak versus Hugo Ekitike. Let me zoom in. I think we can afford to zoom in a little bit. Yeah, good. So scoring and finishing, Isak excels in non-penalty goals. He's in the higher percentile compared to Ekitike and shots on target, indicating a clinical finisher. His expected goals at XG and actual goals align well, showcasing consistency. He's just better at scoring and finishing than Ekitike. Ekitike has a lower percentile, so the verdict is Isak is better at finishing, while Ekitike contributes more to creating chances. So for the folks that are perhaps looking at that number 10 role, Ekitike probably is the more creator. Dribbling and carrying. Isak has a decent progressive carries and take on success, but not as dominant as Ekitike. Ekitike stands out with high percentile rankings, with 99 percentile, 88 percentile, making him more dynamic ball carrier. So Ekitike is the superior dribbler and in beating defenders as well. So that's interesting to see. Passing and link-up play. Isak is good at progressive passes. I agree with that. And received passes and pass completion, showing he can link with midfielders effectively. Absolutely. Ekitike, though, has similar strengths and in progressive passes received, 88 percentile. That's nothing to sneeze at. And pass completion with a slight edge in versatility due to his dribbling. Verdict: both are solid link-up players with a only slight nod to Ekitike for his broader skill set. Right? So some really, really good stuff between them two. Physicality and aerial ability. Isak is stronger in aerial duels, higher percentile, and physical presence, making him a target man option. Ekitike, though, has decent aerial ability, 76 percentile, but less dominant than Isak. Verdict: Isak is better in aerial duels and physical confrontations. Interesting. Discipline and defensive work. Isak has a lower percentile in fouls and yellow cards, indicating better discipline. Or just smarter. Ekitike has higher fouls committed and yellow cards and 90 percentile, suggesting disciplinary issues. Verdict: Isak is more disciplined. Ekitike needs a little bit of improvement. I think he plays on the edge. Attacking movement, and obviously I took their heat maps as well, and I compared their heat maps to each other as well. Isak has a high touches in the penalty area, but his heat map shows broader movement. Ekitike, though, also has high touches in the penalty area, 90 percentile, with more centralized heat map focus. Verdict: both are effective in the box, with Ekitike showing a tighter attacking focus. So Ekitike is a lot more centralized than Isak. Isak's a little bit more. He will take up different positions on the pitch as well. But I'm sure that could change as well. So you can see it here. Heat maps analysis of Isak shows, I think this is Ekitike's heat map though. Heat map analysis, heat map analysis. Isak's heat map shows a widespread presence across the pitch with significant activity in central attacking third and penalty area, but also extending into wider areas and deeper positions where our wingers are. This suggests he drops deeper to link up play and drifts to create space. Yes. Indicating versatility as a forward who can operate as a lone striker or in front or in a front two. So he can operate as a lone striker or in a front two. Enter Ekitike. Ekitike's map, more concentrated in the central third, attacking third, with a dense red spot around the penalty area. This indicates he prefers staying higher up the pitch, focusing on goal scoring opportunities and direct runs, typical of a poacher or a second striker. So the comparison is Isak covers more ground and is more involved across the pitch, while Ekitike is more focused on the final third. And that could be down to their playing styles, their team's playing styles. Particularly, they might adapt, right? If Ekitike plays for Newcastle, that might adapt. So particularly the penalty box. Isak's broader movement contrasts with Ekitike's more static goal-scoring positioning, which is a good thing. If one's a bit more static and more centric in Ekitike, whereas Isak's a little bit more broader, you don't want it to be too similar. You've got that kind of variability, versatility in attack, which I don't mind. So, best system for them playing together, then go in the chats and see what you guys think. So to maximize strengths of both Isak and Ekitike, Eddie Howe could play a 4-4-2, which we have seen, diamond, or if you're playing with a diamond, you need an attacking midfielder, right? With fluidity, hence João Pedro. With fluidity, or a 4-2-3-1 with fluidity, which we played against Chelsea, I think, when we won 2-0 at St. James's Park. Isak could play as the target man or a deeper line forward, using his aerial ability to link up play and hold up the ball. Ekitike could operate as the poacher, exploiting spaces with dribbling and finishing from crosses through balls. The diamond midfield could provide support and creativity. So Bruno maybe on that tip of that diamond midfield. Joe Willock as attacking midfielders as well. 4-2-3-1. Isak as a central striker, with Ekitike as supporting forward or wide forward. So we've got two midfield pivots, the two holding midfielders, and Sean Longstaff. He's not going to be Sean Longstaff. Lewis Miley would love that role. Would cover Ekitike's defensive weaknesses. So you can see Bruno and Tonali, allowing him to focus on attacking the system, could leverage Isak's versatility and Ekitike's directness, so creating a balanced attack and overlapping runs and space and exploitation. So Eddie Howe's potential plans playing together. So Howe might be, if we're serious about Ekitike, Howe might be planning to use both players in a rotated or dual forward system, especially in big matches or against defensively solid teams. Isak's experience in finishing could complement Ekitike's emergent talent, providing him a long-term partnership as Ekitike matures. Could Ekitike be Isak's replacement? Let's answer this question. I asked AI. Ekitike's replacement. Given Isak's established status as a higher goal output, it's more likely Ekitike is seen as a backup or a rotational option rather than an immediate replacement. I agree with that. I'm sure others in the chat do as well. However, if Isak's form dips, he faces injury, Ekitike's versatility could see him step up in. But that'd be a great like rotation to have that. Could see him step up and potentially transition into a starter role with time. So some really, 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 really good stuff there. They can play together. Ekitike wouldn't be necessarily a replacement, we hope, but they can play together, but certainly could be in that kind of rotational play together. But I really like from what was said there about how they could play together and how our attack, how our midfield, how our formations could be a lot more flexible, whether it's a 4-4-2 diamond, a 4-2-3-1 more fluid system, a dual partnership. Remember Shearer and Ferdinand? We haven't had that for a while. I think would be really, really, really good. So let me see what you guys are saying. I don't think we're going to be able to get a chance to talk about the directors today, the sporting directors today, but at least we've got some. We can talk about it on Tuesday, maybe we're going to get that a little bit more formalized. So, and I'll have a little bit more to say about that as well. So let me see what you guys are saying in the chat about this. It'll be great to get your report. Let me see what you guys think about this. Matt Lou. Don't you feel as though Liverpool might tempt us with £150 million for Isak, since they are selling Darwin and they'll have no centre forward? I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if they'll go as high as 150 million, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Ginesta Wijnaldum, 100 million, which is around 85 million pounds. Yeah. I think it's that's what is it. 100 million euros or is it 80 million euros? Let me see what you guys are saying. Cy Robson, random question: if we do sign Ekitike, could you see Isak playing as number 10? He's definitely got the skills to be a Beardsley style of play. He does, but we then miss out on his finishing. Isak's finishing is extraordinary, and we need him as close to the penalty box as possible. I think Ekitike there could still be that number 10, that foil that stretches. He likes to run in behind, stretch the defenses. That creates space between the opposition's defense and their midfield. So you can see Isak getting a lot more space and being devastating. But I would want Isak as close to the penalty box as possible, as often as possible. But for sure, BT Ekitike transfer PSG to Frankfurt in July was 60 million euros. Jeez. It was PSG hold a 20 million sell-on clause, hence why. Great work there, BT. Hence why Frankfurt are trying to get the maximum price possible, which you don't blame them. If we were in the same position, Newcastle would be doing that stuff as well. Matley, we should check Ederson from Atlanta. I think we have as well. For the midfield, his versatility, he can slot in for either Bruno or Tonali during rotations, and he also is a hard worker. Yeah, I hear a lot about Ederson. I think I did a scout report on him as well at one point as well. But good call there, Matley. Robojog, I'm not very big on Ekitike, although his numbers are very good. Yes, it's mainly aesthetic, especially in comparison to Isak in his early days. Also, my main concern is his XG. Underperformance seems to scuff his shots. He can, but I think that's something that can be taught or can be improved upon. He's doing the hard work in terms of getting himself in the right positions, in the right places. And the rest of it will take care of itself. I think Eddie Howe and the team can help with that. And especially if he plays alongside Isak and sees day to day training, everything like that, he's only going to improve. He's only going to get better. But yeah, I agree. And guys, do remember to like, share, and subscribe. As always, Bobby Fairview, God bless you. Good to see you, sir. And thank you for all your comments as well. So, big up, Philip. Hope you're well. Bless up the chat. Absolutely. Good to see Bobby. Bobby, how you feel about the Noni Madueke to Arsenal? You guys have got Arsenal fans absolutely shaking with fever and anger. There's people here saying that uh, Clear Lake have something over the Cronkies, and there's a demand for you to come back on our show and talk about all of this stuff and what it means, all this business from both Chelsea and Arsenal, but Chelsea in general as well. How are they doing it? What is happening? Do let me know if you'll be up for that show. It'd be great to have you back on, Bobby. Um, El Capo, Newcastle have been chasing Ekitike since he was 20. Yes. I think even younger. I want to say even younger. He would not be bought as a replacement for Isak. Yes, I agree with that. And that is certainly my hope. Genius to one Adam. Elanga, Barnes, and Gordon have also played up front in a 4-4-2 in the past. They have. So I could see us play that formation often if Ekitike joins. Yes, absolutely. I agree with that. I agree with that. Not Bobby. Oh, it was Wobodrog talking to Bobby. BT, Ekatike's former coach at Reims, Oscar Garcia, mentioned that some coaches found him to be arrogant and questioned his profile. Okay. In what and let me know. I don't know if it says what did Mr. Garcia think of that? Did he think those coaches were right, or did he think that Ekatike was being, what's the word when they say, like, misunderstood? I'd love to know what Oscar Garcia thinks of Ekatike and all that. But I'll be really really keen to know. Bobby Fairview, that sounds like Jackson. I don't think you can teach a player to strike a ball at that stage, man. To be fair, though, I don't know if you saw Bobby. Ekatike's played 48 games this season with 34 GA, and that includes 22 goals. So even if he's scuffing those balls, they're getting into the goal. So it's working out so far for him. But I know what you mean. There's certain things that players need to learn by now. If they haven't learned by now, when are they going to learn? Essentially, Wobojog and Philip, I'm ready. It's £50 million, including add-ons. Oh, I'm reading. Yeah, so about 50 million is the base, and then there's add-ons from what Fabrizio Romano was saying. It's still £20 million higher than the 30 million that you were hoping for. So, how do you feel about that, Wobojog? Do let me know. Bobby Fairview, if Arsenal is that stupid, then we'll take the 50 million. Well, yeah, that's what's happening. That is what's happening. That is what's happening. Bobby Fairview, happy to jump back on when you have me, my bro. Big up to you, Bobby. I'm excited about that, and I know the guys in the chat will be absolutely excited about that as well. David Barter, the chat with Bobby was epic. Would love another few hours with him. Hey, you guys asked. We requested, and Mr. Fairview is gracious enough to come back on. Absolutely phenomenal. David, big up. This is Bobby Fairview. Big up, David. Looking forward to explaining some of this Clear Lake sorcery. I love that. I absolutely love that. Wobojog, Arteta making his own bed. He this season. We can definitely say for sure it's all Arteta. We'll definitely, no matter what happens, we'll definitely have an answer on Arteta. We'll definitely have an answer if Arteta is the man for Arsenal. Genius the Wijnaldum, do you think Ursula would go out on loan if we bring in Ekitike. Great question. I can't remember. I literally saw something come on today about that. Didn't Craig Hope say it? But I can't remember if Craig Hope said he's staying or if he's going. Let me see if I can. I can't remember because I think Craig Hope talked about it today. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Craig Hope. What did he say? He mentioned it somewhere. So Lewis Miley is staying, which I'm very happy about. We were talking about it before. Lewis Miley is staying, and a big season expected. I expect his minutes to go from less than 500 to 1,500 to 2,000. Also the plan. Okay. Also the plan to keep Usola rather than loan. So according to Craig Hope, the plan is to keep Usola rather than send him out on loan. So I wonder what that would mean in terms of any potential forward coming in. Great question. What would that mean? Do you think Usola would, if Ekitike were to come, what happens to Usola? Do you know what I think happens in that situation, Giniesta? Giniesta, Ekitike comes in, he'll be rotation for Isak. He'll probably also play on the left at times. I think Barnes gets sold. No, not Barnes. What would have to happen? So you'd have Elanga, Murphy. Elanga can also play on the left. It would mean Gordon goes. If Ekitike comes in, I think Gordon goes. Yeah. I don't know Iniesta, but it looks like Newcastle looking to keep Osola. You let me know, Iniesta. What's your thoughts on that? I can't make up my mind on it. Matt Lou, Akliou should be a better 10, I think, or Harvey Elliott. I think Forest have come in for Harvey Elliott. I would want to see Akliou. I feel like scouts are quite split on him. But I think it's because I like Akliou. I've watched like 8, 9 games a season of him. I really like him. In a number 10 role, he would absolutely thrive. I don't know how much of that was a Paul Mitchell idea and how much that's Eddie Howe idea. And I've seen him go up to as much as €50. That's a lot different from the €25 that was in the earlier year quoted. That's the same kind of valuation as transfer market as well. I don't think it's an unfair valuation for him. Lots of Champions League experience, lots of league experience. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I think Akliou should be a good signing at this stage as well. And he can play on the right if we need him. He can play across the front three, to be honest. David Barter doesn't want to. He definitely doesn't want to loan out Osola. Definitely doesn't want that to happen. Iniesta Wijnaldum, would you take Kulusevski? Yes. For say 40 million, I think he'll be worth around 50 to 60 now because of everything, probably 60 upwards. I think either Kulu or Madison will be allowed to leave. Well, that's what I was saying to my Tottenham colleagues. I said you can't just bring in Kudus, who likes to play attacking mid as well as right wing, but attacking mid, and Morgan Gibbs White, who can play anywhere across the centre midfield three as well, and think you're going to keep Madison and Kulu. Yes. I would absolutely take Kulu, 100%. I think though he will cost us about 60 million because everybody's 60 million. 60 is the new 40. Wobberjog, I'm a very patient fan. Yes, I agree with that. I can always say we go again as long as I can see the Arteta making the right calls, but this has me looking at him sideways. Hubris ends empires, let alone young coaches like him. I love that. I love that. That might be the quote of the evening. Adrian Pickett, Kulu would be great to complete our Swedish set. Elanga, Isak, and Kulu. It would be absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. I agree with you, Adrian. Good to see you, by the way. God bless you. Kim Cam, good to see you. God bless you. Good evening to all the Toon Army. Good evening to you. Good evening to you, Kim Cam. Got a couple more comments here. Iniesta, I'd loan out Osola and insert a recall clause in case we get injury. He's 22 now and needs regular minutes to develop, in my opinion. Yeah, especially if we get a really good forward in, your Ekitikes and Kulus and stuff like that. He does need to. I would want to see him play like a full season somewhere and then come back to us like a man, essentially. That'd be great to have him. Osola produces valuable vibes. He does. Maybe that's why Eddie Howe wants him around. Wobblejog, Adrian, you might be right. Saka needs to make his pilgrimage to the north to save his soul. David Barter, I agree. If Ekitike comes in, we offload Gordon to Liverpool, and then perhaps we can afford 80 million. Oh, we definitely would be able to afford 80 million pounds. I think it would be a straight swap in that type of situation. Um, Kim Cam with Ekitike will be a lethal side, but I doubt our intentions. Yeah, I think this. Yeah, I'd love to see it. I would really, really love to see it. That'd be fantastic. Geordie Dread TV, big up to you, sir. Good to see you. God bless you. Great to have you on the channel. Great to have you in the chat. Big up to you. Big up to Specs. Good to see you, sir. I hope you're well. I need to get you on the show to talk about all this madness, all these deals, all these deals going on with Newcastle and our rivals as well. If you're up for it, Geordie, let me know. If you're up for it, Spec, my mind is on Gordon. I'm still trying to work out if I'll keep Gordon. If we were to bring in a Ekitike, do we keep Gordon? I don't know. So yeah, I've got tons to talk about. I'd love to get you on. Jordy Dread, yeah, bro. Been a minute. Loads to talk about. Yeah, great, 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 great. So I got Bobby Fairview and I got Specs all in one night. Brilliant. Absolutely special. Matt Lou, with the right recruitment, I believe we can go deep in the Champions League. And you know what? I wonder if Eddie Howe, obviously, we've had the previous experience of Champions League, but that was the old format. I think Eddie Howe would have looked at this format, that kind of league format. It's like we're playing two leagues this year. We've got the Premier League and the league in the Champions League, on top of all the domestic competitions. So I wouldn't be surprised at us getting more players, essentially. We have to kind of really, I don't know if stock up is the right phrase, but we need to have, the season we just had, we had 15 players that played 1,000 minutes plus. So that's 10 games plus. Part of that is because Sven Botman was injured. He played less than 500 minutes, and Miley didn't play. Those two players must step up, right? So that will make it 17 players this season. If we sell Longstaff, that's back to 16. You guys are following me, right? So we need to bring in between 4 to 5 players, in my opinion. So Elanga is a great step forward in that. More players to come in. We need those players to come in. We need to maintain our league form, and Champions League and everything else. We need to show other teams, other players that we're a consistent Champions League team. If I'm playing for Newcastle United, I'm going to be in Champions League year in, year out, which where all the best players want to be, and competing for trophies. I love the fact that Bruno Gomes is talking about Newcastle competing for trophies. I love that. I love that fact. Proper captain, in my opinion. Iniesta, is there any teams you'd want us to meet in the Champions League or perhaps avoid? So there'll be nobody I'd avoid. There'll be absolutely nobody I'd avoid. I know the aim is to get through the group stage. I just want to, especially, I just want to, I want to test ourselves. I had to think about this. I'd love to see Barcelona at St. James's Park for Bobby Robson. I think that would be emotional. I want to play PSG again and beat them and just remind all the English teams that we're the only team that can beat PSG. And obviously, I'd love to have Real Madrid. I love this version of Real Madrid, the one that can't be bothered to press and work hard and get beaten. So I love that. So, but Madrid, Barcelona, and PSG, yeah, I love to have them at the Toon. Wobajog, Am I mistaken? The biggest bulk of the Champions League money comes from going through the league phases. Going deep after that isn't as critical, at least for the first time back in it, in my opinion. What someone else, I can't remember who said it, but people, a lot more kind of analysts are saying that essentially the Champions League is the new Super League, right? They couldn't get their Super League, so they just morphed it into the Champions League, and that's where a lot of the money is in the group stages. And the more we get into it, the more we play in the Champions League, the more money comes our way. So and it's hard to break into. I think the more you stay in though in the Champions League and playing in the Champions League, the easier it gets, the more players you can purchase. So this is a massive year for Newcastle, absolutely massive year. Kim Cam, that's why I haven't, even though I've got some doubts over the story for Ekitike and Fabrizio Romano, I haven't dismissed it outright because we need players. We need quality players, in my opinion. Kim Cam, we need a minimum of 5 new good players to be able to compete on all fronts. I agree. Otherwise, we will struggle with the previous season. Yeah, there'll be a risk. There'll be a big risk of that. Absolutely, absolutely. All right. So David Barta, Barca, PSG, Real Madrid, and Bayern. Please, yeah, we want all the big guns. We want all of them. Absolutely, absolutely. All right, folks. I was going to talk about potential candidates and sporting directors, but we've run out of time. And because the transfer window and we've had such great conversations around all things Elanga deal. We talked about other news from other clubs, Morgan Gibbs White and kudos at Tottenham as well. Seeing our rivals, including our own Newcastle fans, kind of missing that dopamine heat that Spurs fans are getting right now. But also wondering, does that mean Kulusevski is available to come? That would be great. Could we have an all Swedish front line in Kulu, Elanga, and Isak this season? That would be something for the books. Or are we going to get Ekitike? Which lineup is better, Ekitike, Isak, Elanga, or Gordon, Isak, Elanga? Which one is better? That's what we talked about. We did also a comparison between Ekitike. We did a scout report on Ekitike, and we did a comparison between him and Isak. Could they play together? Absolutely, they could. Absolutely great players. And it would certainly send a message out to rivals if Newcastle were to have in their front line Gordon, Ekitike, Isak, Elanga, Murphy, Bartle. We can't keep all of them, I suppose, but that would be just to have those kind of 3-4 players would be absolute 5 players would be absolutely immense, in my opinion. And as always, and we also got hopefully we've managed to get some guest appearances soon on our show from Bobby Fairview and Specs from Geordie Dread TV, which we're going to have in the near future. But I'm going to keep that director stuff on hold, the sporting director stuff on hold. And we'll talk about it again next week. Hopefully, it's not announced next week, but we'll find out then. And hopefully, we'll get those. Hopefully, we'll be able to talk about them in some depth. Though I imagine there'll be so much more transfer bombers that are on their way. But you guys have been absolutely phenomenal with your chats, with your likes, with your subscriptions. You have all been absolutely phenomenal. Make sure you have a great evening. That you look after each other, and whatever you're doing, you're safe, you're blessed, you're flourishing. And as always, folks, God bless and take care.